Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this from bounding into comics. Let's see, say switch. Yes. North American Simulation and Gaming Association author claims Dungeons and Dragons promotes race essentialism because humans cannot realistically imagine a completely disconnected reality. Am I reading something that an actual neo-Nazi says or something like that? Because I'm pretty sure it sounds like one. Yeah, it must be a neo-Nazi. Anybody else that are not racist or normal would actually say something like this. Anybody that isn't any fucking inbred. Right? I mean, right? Huh. Crap. Yeah, reaching levels of retardedness and inbreeding never seen before. No, wait, we have. In 1930s and 40s. Right, when was it? Yep, yeah. Right. According to North American Simulation and Gaming Association contributing author Clayton Whittle, Dungeons and Dragons promotes the concept of race essentialism, or quote,
the idea that racial intelligence determines the path we take in life. You cannot realistically imagine a completely disconnected reality.
So basically what we are telling here is that people cannot imagine a world where there is no humans, is that it? Or that there's no race or something like that? I'm starting to have very difficult time here comprehending some of the shows that I have come to enjoy, some of the movies that I've come to enjoy. Even rooting for non-human characters. Oh, there goes SpongeBob SquarePants. After all, this guy here cannot be wrong, can he? Right. So we go with Discount NASA, originally founded in 1962 as East Coast War Games Council. That was a bit better, at least the name, but anyway. North American Simulation and Gaming Association, Discount NASAGA, a self-described network of professions dedicated to the design, implementation, and evaluation of game simulations to improve learning. Okay. March 12, the organization published a piece by Whittle, headline, Confronting Racial Essentialism in Dungeons and Dragons, wherein don't care. Those work seeks to improve empower individual citizens, especially underrepresented populations. Alright, everything. You mean, oh wait, underrepresented populations, that means white males are finally getting represented. Oh wait, no, not that population, no. The overrepresented population, the black woman Ixen or transgender Ixen or woman Ixen of color Ixen. Of course. After all, those are the only demographics that actually buys those things, right? I mean, possibly you guys losing sales, going bankrupt and closing shop. That's not exactly what happened with DC Comics, right? Where they lost a lot of sales and they don't have a permanent office anymore. Right? Right. Where was I? Right. Act as environmental agents in their own lives by providing educational tools, engaging experiences, and platform through which the voices can build efficacy. There you go. Right. Address how players, renters, and dungeons masters can approach and confront racial essentialism in D&D, finding ways to resist implicit demands on character races. Look, you fucking retarded piece of fucking shit, you bunghole fuck... No, sorry. Bunghole! Fucky. No, fucky. You know, the guy who gets dick up on his bunghole. Of course, he has a pronoun in his bio, because... yes, that means all his research can be easily dismissed. Anyway, there's a reason why there's a race in Dungeons and Dragons, because there are certain races that are better than others than doing anything. Humans are generally just average. Jack of all trades, master of none type of deal. Then you have goblins, then you have gnomes, well, not gnomes, but dwarves, elves, halflings, or whatever RPG, Dungeons and Dragons alternative, or whatever you decide to play. Now, orcs, well, halflings from Dungeons and Dragons, the gnomes in certain other games, etc. It depends on whatever you choose to play. But there's a reason why those races exist, and there's why there's certain benefits in choosing certain races. Some are better for stealing, others are better for stealth, which includes stealing too. But there are some that are actually more agile, there are others that are stronger, like the dwarves are notoriously strong, the orcs are very strong, but they are very brutish. You can actually choose alignment as well. There are certain races that are have a certain preference to alignment of good and evil, generally chaotic good, chaotic evil, neutral good, lawful good, etc, etc, etc. But these people are so goddamn fucking retarded that they cannot comprehend a world where differences exist in certain way, and that those differences are good sometimes. For instance, you create your party, and you choose the best characters or the best races. That will give you advantage in the game. But that's too difficult for people like him. Let's see what he says.
Racial essentialism is at its core the idea that race identities determines the path we take in life. In the most egregious of real-world examples, we can point to absolutely disgusting practices of scientific racism and pseudo-scientific pursuit of empirical evidence that one ethnicity can be biologically inferior to another.
You absolute retarded piece of shit. Look, for instance, blacks are actually better at processing the ultraviolet rays of the sun than white people, you absolute troglodyte. And essentially means that white people are able to survive in colder climates a bit more because our skin are absorbing ultraviolet rays, because on northern climates there's less sun. As you know, Earth has a tendency to move a little, just a tiny little bit, during certain time periods of the year, for instance, winter and summer. Those are certain advantages. For instance, blacks are certainly much better at running than white people in general. But we can even go there with sex or gender. Obviously, you idiot that hates biology, and that what kind one do, right? Where was I?
It's so very obvious problem with this idea is that we cannot reasonably attribute individual spiritual ability or knowledge with race. To do so absolutely dehumanizes the individual generalized experience and is, in short, utterly not cool.
Classic tabletop.
Encourages essentialism because ascribes cultural traits to races, includes physical traits and experiential knowledge based on race.
You absolute troglodyte! Ha!
Players must use the core resources to craft characters, and in doing so must engage with an explicitly essentialist universe in which your race determines everything from how far you can run to know how to blacksmith.
Oh wait, I forgot. I completely forgot. The halfling can actually run as fast and as further as a human or an orc. Yeah, just imagine those tiny little legs moving really fast when the human, in this case, it's not like the halfling will get tired a bit faster, right? I'm getting exceptionally tired of idiots like this guy. We should have kept them out of the games, but in all desire to welcome everyone, we kind of pretty much open our doom, our doors to the doom that we are really seeing right now. Yeah. Let's continue.
Further within the game, D&D encourages assumptions based on racial essentialism. Certain races are inherently evil, and their actions always pursue goals are cruelly intense. Players are trained from the start to expect evil intent from goblins, barbarians from barbarism from orcs, or kindness from elves.
Oh yeah, orcs were evil. What is wrong? Oh wait. Can you introduce me to an orc individual right now? Can you tell me how this orc is actually feeling with the knowledge that he's essentially evil? Can you present to me the goblin who is actually getting triggered over the idea that he's essentially evil? Can you show me that goblin? I want an image. I want that video of the goblin speaking to me. Can you do that, you absolute imbecilic, butt-sniffing, cock-gobbler of a fucking titless moron! Oh, of course you cannot do it because they don't fucking exist! These people irritate me.
Nothing. The wonderful creators of DM's Guild and an online marketplace, so third-party D&D content.
Oh, noting that he had spoken to. Whittle recalled that several of these creators had asserted that the existence of a second fantasy world and automatically inspire players to draw connections. You me.
It is the responsibility of the Dungeon Master to lay out how the imagined world does or does not connect to the real world.
I continue before implying that all players would default making racist comparison between the game's races and real-world peoples without the guiding hand of a properly socially conscious DM. You know, up until recently in D&D, I never even made a goddamn fucking connection between orcs and black people. All it took was a goddamn fucking retarded SJW to make that point. I still don't, and never will, but we now know who these people think that the orcs represent. They represent black people according to these imbecilic morons, so it goes to show who are the real racists here. The actual neo-Nazis called SJWs. Fuck me, you people are retarded. Holy shit. The inbreeding must be hard with you people.
We know the explicit guidance plans are free to imagine their own connection. How dare you imagine the world like it's not supposed to be? You have to follow my guidance. Don't you know? My titless goddamn fucking enlarged bunghole dictates that you should respect my authority.
Alright, we have to then move on to weighing the pros and cons. A brilliant binary method of addressing the issue shared with him by our information DM's Guild Grid. Oh, god damn it.
In our mind and imagined world, either is or is not connected to the real world. The binary approach explicitly addressed Best players know that they are either or are not in connection and set the boundaries through which the DM wishes the players to interpret the universe. The first binary approach is the full dedication to fantasy. In this approach, the writer of the Dungeon Master makes explicit that there is no connection to the real world, as one wonderful writer puts orcs is orcs.
I cannot even believe it that you actually have to say that to a player! Let's go and play RPG, shall we? Tabletop RPG. Remember, kids, this thing is not real. Do not think this is real and that orcs exist, okay? Santa does exist. Fine? Yeah, Santa is real, but orcs are not, okay? Okay? Don't go pretending that this is real. No. I think these people are retarded. I cannot even comprehend how fucking inbred these people are. The inbreeding is so out of control with these goddamn fucking SJWs that it makes me wonder if these people are absolutely intentionally being stupid. No, wait, they're retarded, they are inbred. So yeah, they are not intentionally being stupid, it's just that they can't help themselves. Fuck me! The approach represents a full fantastical escapism of a disconnected experience. There are no allegories in which to draw, and because of this, there are no allegories that can be unreasonably imagined. Give me power, give me strength, coffee! Curiously, most writers find this to be the most difficult path to follow. The nature of the mind is to form connections even when striving to achieve this outer removal from reality. They are nearly inescapable connections because we as humans cannot realistically imagine completely disconnected reality. Hey! The departure from our reality such as magic must be fleeting and must be undoubtedly the minority we compared to other more human similarities. And it is similarities that encourages players to make connections to our real worlds. In the end, this approach is made difficult because as we collaborative put it, you have to be on nothing with this approach to completely imagine a new world and prevent connection to real world issues. Writer and DM needs to constantly examine the content to ensure it doesn't perpetuate stereotypes of the real world. Oh yeah, wait. It's a real world, isn't it? When an orc is inherently evil, so the Dungeon Master has to go in there. Look, the orcs are not inherently evil. Okay? Look, I happen to be friends with a goddamn fucking orc, and he is absolutely astonishing. Obviously, he steals my stuff, breaks things, and beats me to near death most of the time, but he is absolutely amazing, stunning, and brave. Okay? I do not even know how is this idiot here having difficulties differentiating the real world from a fantasy world. I'm starting to think he doesn't even know. It should be there ought to be a law in which it prohibits sex between brothers and sisters in this case, so an idiot like this would never be born. Talented in game stereotypes and drawing narratives that connect the universe challenges the real world issue. The writer has to consider the ripple impact of how the allegories may be interpreted. But in the end, the Dungeon Master writer has control over what they do or do not include, giving them the power to narrow the narrative on controllable level. Allows the writer to control the scope of discouraging and analyzing by limiting the reason for the evil behavior to local groups, not wide-ranging the racial stereotypes. How I should confront racial socialism in D&D. At the end of the day, neither approach is superior. Kill me. The explicit approach of confronting racial socialism in D&D takes substantial work, but provides the right DM with much control. It also allows for significant opportunity to explore the stereotypes in a protective way. On the other hand, the orc approach gives player the opportunity of true escapism, as so long as the DM is vigilant in coaching imagined connections. Oh yeah, wait. Good point. You need to make sure that the person knows that the game is not real. What sort of moron thinks this is real? The Wrestling Center University psychology professor Christopher J. Ferguson recently published a study that claims that no association between D&D and racism, and most people, including pickers of cotton, don't find evil works offensive. In this study, Ferguson concluded the D&D game was not associated with ethnocentrism in real life, nor did a consensus of individuals, including pickers of cotton, find the depiction to be offensive or racist. It appears that if you're serious about addressing race issues in the United States, which did not exist up until prior to this nonsensical SJW wokeness that is out of control, intentionally focusing on modern depiction of the game may not be the most fruitful avenue. Right, let's jump in. In the abstract study, Ferguson detailed he surveyed 308 adults, 38.2 non-white, a subset of whom 17 were playing role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. Playing Dungeons & Dragons D&D was not associated with greater ethnocentrism. Attitudes: only 10.2% found the depiction of orc monsters as inherently evil to be offensive. Who wants to be maybe those who are not players, huh? However, when later asked the blunter question whether the same depiction was racist, the number jumped to 34%. However, when later asked the blunter of question whether, they're repeating it. This with whom particularly endorsed this position. So woman, mostly. He explained, this suggests asking people about racism may prime them to see racism in material that hadn't previously found to be offensive. Neither participant race nor history playing the game was associated with perception of offensiveness or racism. Look, there's a reason most women will actually endorse this position. It's because women are essentially more empathic, more in touch with feelings, more caring, more loving, and all of those things. Well, meanwhile, men are more logical, more dedicated to material world, things like that. More logical, let's put it that way. Less empathic. Obviously, that's why men and women, when they join together, they created a good, perfect connection. As in, the weakness of one is overcome by the strength of the other. But it shows that women are more empathic. Oh my god, I did not think that the orcs... Now that you say, I actually think it's offensive. That's a very empathic approach. This is expected and normal. This is normal for women. It's nothing wrong. Anyway. So in other words, what we have learned here is that NASAGA Right. The nasal or discount NASA is racist and they cannot differentiate between realities. Between the real world and the imagined world of an RPG tabletop. We've reached levels of stupidity I have never seen before. No, wait, I may have seen stupidity worse than this before. I'll have to think about it. But yeah, it's pretty much stupid. So, since this is the goddamn fucking weekend approaching, today is Friday, I'll see you guys Monday. If there's anything important, I'll make a video on during the weekend. So, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night.